I'd like to call the October 18th Business Committee meeting to order. Roll call, please, ma'am.
Ms. Marion Petita.
Here.
Ms. Buffett Charbonnier.
Here.
And Mr. Myron Knight.
Here.
Thank you. Item 2, insurance. Letter A, to receive a quarterly performance report on the self-funded medical plan as presented by Mr. Buddy Leday of Gallagher Benefit Services, Inc. Mr. Buddy.
Thank you, Ms. Marion. Buddy Leday, Gallagher Benefits. We serve as your consultant on your insurance plan. I'm not going to go through the whole report because remember we just did this last month, so we really just need to touch on what last month did. And last month was a pretty good month. We ran pretty well in September, which is great because a lot of times September can be high with some fallout claims from the summer, but it was at 1.4. So I'll just say year to date, y'all are 11.15% better than you were at this point last year. Within budget, within which y'all budgeted for the increases this year and potential increased costs. I will say that most of my fully insured groups are just getting shellacked right now with very large increases. You guys are running 11.15. So this is the benefit of some self-funded years. You have some bad years, but you have some good years. You're having a better year this year, which is good. If you see the percentage, I do have it corrected from the last one too. So it's about 65% of the total cost of the plan for the self-funded plan and for the fully insured Medicare Advantage for retirees is paid by the school system, and about 35% of the cost is paid by the employees and the retirees, which is about where we want to be typically, okay? Last meeting, y'all approved the enhancements for next year, which will shift some costs back into the school system, but we are budgeted for that. So that is your quarterly report. So I just finished auctioneering at the Bayou Industrial Group thing, so if I'm going fast, I just got off the mic over there, so I'm moving quick. So any questions on the quarterly report?
If not, we thank you for that. Let's move on to item B, to consider the medical plan reinsurance renewal as presented by Buddy Leday with Gallagher Benefits Services.
Got it, guys. So really, you know, we kind of want to roll with the good news, knock on wood, but the reinsurance renewal came in. It is a 2% increase, which equates to about $12,000 a year increase from the reinsurance with no lasers. The new members on the board, what a laser is if there's a very ill person on the plan. Right now, y'all pay the first $300,000 of medical expenses on a year-to-year basis for every person enrolled. But sometimes you get somebody that's very sick, they may need a transplant, they may have cancer, and they'll make that specific deductible much higher. We were able to negotiate this with no lasers. The initial renewal came out at 9%. We created some competition with other carriers, Blue Cross preferred carriers, because you guys use Blue Cross for your administrative service. I'll give credit, Delilah does a great job with the negotiation factor. We went back to your current carrier, BCS, and BCS came down to 2% in order to retain the business with no new lasers. There were a couple they were looking at. That's something we're going to keep a close eye on in the coming years. And it's not due to anything new with cancer. It's not due to anything new with transplants. People are going to get sick. It has everything to do with medication, because they are coming out with more and more medications, gene therapy medications that are costing a fortune. The one that's about to hit approval right now is a sickle cell anemia medication. It's a miracle drug. It's basically curing sickle cell at the tune of $2.5 million for one dose. So it's close.
That's ridiculous.
It's close. So who's going to pay for that, right? So we're keeping a very close eye on medications as we move forward. Y'all see the commercials for Skyrizi. Skyrizi's $20,000 an injection. Imbruvica. You know, I had B-cell lymphoma back in the day. Y'all know that. I had 15 months of chemo. Now you can take Imbruvica, but it's $250,000 a year. So these new things are coming out and they're wonderful. You can't afford them. So we're keeping a very close eye on pharmaceuticals, right? That's the big thing right now. The other thing I just want to touch on is, because it kind of hit the news, is the Elixir. Elixir is, in case you get any calls, I just want to let you guys know, Elixir is, their parent company is Rite Aid. Rite Aid Retail Pharmacy is filing Chapter 11, okay? Elixir is financially stable. That is a PBM. They're not paying your claims with their money. They just use your money and they administer your claims, okay? But they have an agreement in principle with a company called MedImpact, potentially, which is a preferred partner of ours as well, but to potentially take over or buy out Elixir. They may not, though. It's just, these things take time, but I don't want anybody to be afraid because Elixir hit the news because they're part of Rite Aid. Everything's fine. Claims are being paid. No new cards, no new names at this point in time. But I just want to let you know, if you get a call from somebody, we have all the information. We can help you with that if you want us to help with that. So that's my spiel for tonight, but the reinsurance is a great renewal. We're happy with where they're at. Considering all that's going on in the market right now, they get a $12,000 lift on that. It's really, really a small percentage of your total plan spend on a year-to-year basis, which, as y'all all know, y'all average over $20 million a year. That's any questions on that?
I have a motion. Mr. Wright, second, Ms. Robert-J. Any board discussion, any questions, any public comment? If not, let's vote. Motion carries. Mr. Buddy, I just want to thank you too for all of the work that you're doing for us, but also thank you for having the people from Humana come to talk to the retirees. They really did a good job of explaining it.
Yeah, and we'll do that again, guys. They don't typically do it every year, but we can. I think we took a little break from COVID. It's called, for those who don't know, Humana to You. We notified all the retirees on the Humana plan. They held meetings throughout the parish. They did flu shots. They informed them on their benefits and what they had and how it works. And it's just kind of a refresher course. And Miss Erin from Humana does a fantastic job of really she'll get one-on-one with you, talk about your medications, whatever it is you need. So thank you for bringing that up. I think as far as was told from Ms. Brittany and Ms. LaFawn, it all went well. So.
Thank you very much. All right, now moving on to finance. A, to consider renewal offer of All South Consulting Engineers, LLC, to amend the contract term to December 2024 with an increase to the fee cap. Ms. LaFawn.
Yes, ma'am. We are asking to accept the renewal and extension of Old South contract through December of 2024, as well as to add $2,210,000 to the contract. And this is to allow them to finish out the projects that we're currently working on related to Hurricane Ida. There's still a lot of work ahead of them and a lot of things to do for all the FEMA claims. And so we're asking for the amendment, your approval on that amendment. And just a reminder, the services that Old South provides for us are a part of our FEMA reimbursement process.
Motion, Ms. Robert-J, second, Mr. Wright. Do you have any questions or comments from board? Any comments from the public? If not, let's vote. Motion carries, and again, thank you also for the great work that you're doing for us with our FEMA reimbursements. All right, item B, to receive a report on the proposals for drug testing services and take appropriate action. Ms. Tobias. Kind of high from you again.
With the board's approval, I'm requesting permission to award the proposals for the highest scored from, this would be from Complete Occupational Health Services. They would be our new district drug testing service.
Motion, Ms. Robert-J. Second, Mr. Wright. Any questions, board members? Any public comment? Not, let's vote. Motion carries. Item C, to receive the monthly budget to actual report for all major funds from the period through September 30th, 2023.
And this, of course, is on our general fund, the 1995 sales tax salary restricted fund, and the salary supplement fund. In the general fund, we collected through September 30th 23.8% of the revenues and expended or encumbered 70.2% of the current year's budget. In the sales tax salary restricted fund, we collected 9% of the revenues and 0% of the expenditures have been accomplished. But keep in mind that a lot of that is through interfund transfers, which occur at the end of the year. In the salary supplement fund, we've collected 0.2% of the revenues and no expenditures again there. This is a lot of their expenditures are tied to interfund transfers as they support the cost of salaries and benefits for our employees. If you turn over to page 3 of the report, which is the page that outlines the revenues for the general fund, I just want to call your attention to a couple of things. One is on the ad valorem taxes. We've collected very little, but this is taxes that are now past due for 2022. So these are still collections, late collections that are coming in. You'll see the 2023 taxes begin to come in January of 2024. And in the sales and use taxes, we collected $1,819,000 in the general fund, and that represents the taxes that were collected in the month of September for August sales. And then in the state public revenues, in the MFP funding, we collected to date $19.9 million, which is on target with our budget. And then if you turn over to page 4, I just want to call your attention to the final column of the worksheet where it gives you the percentage of the budget. We have no expenditure areas which are in trouble. Of course, we're very early on in the budget cycle, so we have no overages in the budget yet. But one of our largest expenditures, of course, is salaries and benefits throughout the district. And when you look at the salary and benefit costs, and you look at the percentage of the budget that is shown as either spent or encumbered, if it's below 100%, then that means that we do have some vacancies in those areas that we're still trying to fill. The budget is based upon positional cost. Your actual year-to-date and encumbrances are based upon current personnel. So when you see that, just know that that's where our HR department is working hard to fill some positions. Any questions on the budget report?
Any questions from the board? Get on to the next item, to receive a report on proposals, where am I? To receive a financial report on Hurricane Ida response and recovery to date. Excuse me? Yes, we can, I'm sorry. To receive a periodic budget report for special revenues and proprietary funds.
Yes, thank you. The report we're giving tonight is on our internal service for proprietary funds, which include our group health fund, which you heard Mr. Leday just refer to in his report, the loss control fund, and our workers' compensation fund. And if you look at the columns that are shown in green, you'll see the combined budget for the year for all of these funds, as well as the combined actual expenditures. And then to the right in white, the breakdown of those expenditures by those funds. And keep in mind, again, this is not a fund where costs and revenues flow evenly throughout the year. So it is a little bit harder sometimes to see where you're going to end up at the end of the year. So it's a little hard to project that. But if you review that, if you have any questions.
Any questions? If not, then we'll go on to item E. To receive a financial report on Hurricane Ida response and recovery to date. Ms. Ortiz.
Our expenditures to date are $89.8 million. We have obligated an additional $14.4 million for a total of $104.3. If you remember from last month's report, that number was just over $105 million. Some of the very lengthy land and facilities meeting agenda items that were credits through change orders helped that number out a little bit, as well as a change in our interest calculations. So we're at $104.3 million to date. No change in our actual inflows as far as for where that we anticipate them coming. However, on the last part of the report, on the bottom of the second page there, you'll see the FEMA reimbursement that we received in the month of September was $365,757, bringing our total aggregate FEMA reimbursements to $41.6 million. And to date, FEMA has obligated $56.9 million of our reimbursement.
So I have a question. All right, so the total reimbursement request, that would be subtracted, this 41 million would be subtracted?
Correct. In other words, of the 56.9 million that they've obligated, they've actually paid us 41.6.
If we have the other, yeah,
Yes. And as a part of that arrangement on the hurricane loan, we have an agreement. Our FEMA reimbursement dollars are pledged against the loan after the first 50 million in collections, which was designed to repay the district for what we fronted for Hurricane Ida repairs. So we're within about 8.4 million of that.
any comments, any questions, Ms. Ortiz? All right, ma'am, thank you very much. Moving on to transportation, to receive a report of the transportation events from the previous month. Mr. Hubble.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So school is in full swing. We already have 9 weeks down. And the drivers is what I want to focus on this week. I can talk about breakdowns in the fleet and monitors and every other situation you can think of. But this week is Bus Driver Appreciation Week and Bus Safety Week. Without those 90 to 100 people that drive for us on a weekly basis, schools would truly struggle. And what I would like to do is invite you guys as board members to see if there's any time that you can get on a bus. And we'll set it up for you, just to ride with them, see who's actually driving the kids every morning and every afternoon, and see what they actually do. Because I can stand here and explain what happens on a daily basis in the office, in the field, riding on a bus, because I try to get on the bus as often as possible. And actually see what the drivers do and what they take on twice a day, and to make it happen is something that is just truly accountable to the drivers that are out there. I'll give you a small instance. In one certain area, we had a driver out and it affected a bus to do another alternate. In the Thibodeau area, we had 2 drivers out, and those 2 drivers out affected 12 different buses in the morning routes due to the numbers and the way the routes are designed, to where they're going, what neighborhoods and what schools they have to get to next on time. Just that little small portion of 2 people out, and it affects 12 different employees, shows you a little bit of a picture of what has to be done on a daily basis, and the drivers continuously do it day in and day out. And I just can't thank them enough for what they're doing right now. Overall, the department's in a good spot. We keep trying to, every time I believe we get a good jump on numbers, we have somebody retire. So we have retirements always kind of coming through the gate for us. But as we keep slowly hiring one by one, and we keep going in the right direction, we're not going backwards as of now. So we'll keep that going. We'll keep pushing it. Any questions?
Will you get your 100 by December?
Oh man, that's a big number. I want to take a big bite, but we won't.
You want to try to lower that?
We're gonna keep that 100 right there. That's the ultimate goal. We can cover everything right now throughout the district, but getting to 100 would be a really good spot for everyone. And the main concern with that is the administrators at the schools, so they know the right amount of buses are showing up on a daily basis, even if 1 or 2 are out. And that trickles down straight to the community, which is our main goal.
Did we send out a thank you to the bus drivers appreciation?
Yeah.
Right. Any questions? Any other comments? No. If not, thank you very much. There being no further business,